Zoom platform, we have a chat box in here that you can type questions in. I may miss some of those as I'm going through this presentation, but we will get to those at the end. I'm going to open that chat box up now, so I'll try to keep an eye on it, but as I'm presenting, I may not be able to see that chat box during certain parts of this. So my name is Matt. I'm going to be y'all's host today. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it up to the office to show off our cool Powerwall, but we'll talk a little bit about that anyhow. So we will be getting started soon here. Glad to see quite a bit of people on here already. Some names I recognize over the 4 years of working here at Wells Solar. It's exciting to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. So let me get some things up here on the screen for you guys. And like I said, we'll probably get started around 3:02, 3:03, just to give people a few minutes to log on. So if you guys want to turn your cameras off and take care of something while you're waiting, feel free. I see more people coming in here today, or just now. So as I was mentioning, some other people will be getting started here shortly, just giving everybody some time to log in. So thanks for joining us. I'm seeing more and more people log in here as we're approaching our 3 o'clock start time. As I said, we'll get started around 3:02, 3:03. Like to give people a few minutes to figure out anything that may be going wrong with the Zoom. Really excited to see a lot of you guys in here. Um, we've been doing this for quite some time now, and it's really a nice thing to see a lot of you customers' names. Again, these are all names I remember going through our system. You may not remember me. Some of you may, but it's exciting to see these names. That's a really cool experience, honestly. So hope we can answer everyone's questions about the monitoring portal. As I mentioned, we will be using the chat feature here today for questions. I will be actually opening it up to questions at the end. So if you want to hold your questions until the end, that would be helpful. I do have some contact lines set up for after this because I'm sure some of y'all will probably have some additional questions that may require some attention from us. We are ready for that. I have discussed that with our customer service department, and so we'll try to answer some kind of general questions via the chat box, and then anything specific to you, if you maybe need some help or something like that, we'll take care of you after the fact and make sure that you get what you need. So appreciate you guys on there. Lots of familiar names, and you guys are muted for now, so we'll make sure that we're using that chat box. And I see that some people have already asked some questions, and someone said they saw my little dog. That's June. She's a great little dog. She may whine a little bit in the middle of the webinar. I guess that's all part of the 2020 lifestyle we've all got going on now, working at home and getting things done. But she's a good dog. I think she's a mix of a Jack Russell Terrier and a Dachshund, if I had to guess. I don't know. And then someone's asking about a misplaced laminate card with the info. I was wondering if there was one I could get off the system somewhere, or do I need to go through my Wells Solar rep? Just trying to get a few of these out of the way since we got them going, but I will get to that question here at the end. So I am going to slowly start to get started here, guys. We are now at 3:02 and 30 seconds. So we'll get the ball rolling, and I'll get to these questions here at the end. I don't think this will take very long. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I know everyone's busy, and I want to kind of just do a general overview, and we'll help you more specifically as we get into it. So my name is Matt Bice. I am the Director of Sales here. Been with the company for 4 years now. And I'm pretty proud of that. Started here back in 2016 when we did installs for other companies, and me and a few other people kind of grew the inside, or I guess the Wells Solar sales division into what it is now. We do somewhere around 1,000 projects a year now, which is quite a lot. It's an exciting number to see, and I'm glad we could help you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to answer any questions you may have right now that you haven't gotten around to asking. So we'll get it started here. Today's agenda is going to be an introduction. We'll talk about how you register for SolarEdge, and then we'll talk about how to look at SolarEdge on your computer, which is how I typically do it since I'm in front of a computer more than I'd like most of the time. And then we'll talk about how to use it on your phone with the Wells Solar portal, as well as SolarEdge's application. But we actually recommend you use our portal, and we'll get into that a little bit. And then we'll open it up for questions there at the end in the chat box, like I've described a few times. Sorry if you've heard me say that too many times, but I see more people logging on as I'm speaking. So All right, so SolarEdge is the inverter company that we use. There's two big options out there. We've really found SolarEdge to be the better option. Um, we have had a few issues here and there, so some of y'all may have, maybe had something go wrong at one point, but we're here to help you, and that's just kind of part of the nature of the product sometimes. And normally once we get it fixed, we don't really see any issues. So if your system's up and running now and it's working great, I don't want anyone to really worry about it. It should be functioning fine for a long time to come. Um, Introduction. So the SolarEdge monitoring, looks like someone annotated this here. Let me do some. All right. So the SolarEdge monitoring allows you to monitor your system's performance in detail. So, one of the things that we talk to you guys about when we're talking to you guys about solar is our ability to monitor the system and really take a look at what each individual panel is doing. So that's where the SolarEdge monitoring is going to come into play. And so everyone that has had a Wells Solar install since, honestly, probably since the beginning of 2017, if not midway through 2016, and you talked to Wells Solar, and we handled the signing you up and everything from start to finish. You should have monitoring on your system, assuming it's a SolarEdge system. We have done some other systems for a few people, but I'm guessing everyone in here has probably got SolarEdge. So this monitoring platform is really cool. It's got a lot of details, but it's also really simple if you want it to be. You can really take a look at all the different things. So, the big thing is you can see production from your panels over any preset time frame. And what I mean by production is how many kilowatt hours it's generated. And the other cool feature is the layout feature that allow you to look into each individual panel and what its performance is over a set part of time. Some of you may have even more monitoring. If you have a more recent system, you may have some whole home monitoring. That's something we've done for some of our more recent projects where you can actually see how much you're using as well. But I'm just going to cover the production side of it today. So just how much power is coming off your solar panels, because that should cover everybody. And then, if you have the more advanced monitoring, you should be able to see that as a consumption side of it. Give me just a second here. Having a hard time with my mouse. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty here, guys. It's like my mouse has disappeared on me. Well, let me get to the next page. All right. Sorry, guys. Had to hop out of that for a second. Something happened there and my mouse disappeared and I had to get into something tricky there. That was hard. All right, back to the presentation here. Sorry, guys. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the emailed link. When your system is installed, you should get a link emailed to you. Now, I understand that a lot of people get a lot of emails and you may have missed this link and you may be wondering about your monitoring. You can search for SolarEdge in your emails. And SolarEdge is spelled with just one word there. So that's a key part of searching for it. So please make sure that if you are doing that, you are searching for SolarEdge in your email. You will use that link to register your account to use the monitoring portal. So if you get that link, it says, register for your SolarEdge access, and you will be prompted to create a password, and now you've got um, your SolarEdge login. Now, SolarEdge actually asks you to go to, they have multiple ways to look at it. And the first one I want to start with is actually going to be using it on your computer. So let me do one thing here. I'm going to share a different screen with you. And I am going to show with you, there you go. All right, there we go. So this is actually my father's solar system. So you guys can all see this, I hope. If someone who works with me is watching me right now and can't see this well, please message me in the chat box. I'd appreciate that. So I will be showing you guys this. This is the monitoring platform for your web browser. So you simply go to monitoring.solaredge.com. I am going to have one of our employees send an email out to all the registrants on this webinar with the monitoring link, as well as some other instructions. So that's something we've been discussing, and we're gonna make sure you guys have that. We should also be having a recording of this video in case you want to rewatch it. I'd be honored. So what you have to start with when you open up your monitoring, there's a lot of information here. Up at the top, you'll have some icons. You may not have all of these icons, but you should have dashboard and layout. And so those are the ones that I'm going to be focusing on. So your dashboard is going to be where you get your kind of daily reporting, your monthly reporting, and even annually reporting. So this particular system is my father's solar system. I helped him get this solar for his house, and he's been working great for the last couple of years, and he's been really excited about it. He almost bought solar from someone that knocked on his door just a few weeks before I actually decided to come work for Wells Solar, so he got kind of lucky on that. But here you can see his day-to-day production. You will see that you have different production for each day. That depends on the amount of sun, the clouds, multiple things. SolarEdge actually goes ahead and puts, the forecast in right here, so you can kind of know what your weather is going to look like for the next couple of days. Because obviously that's an important part of producing power with the sun. You can see your lifetime energy here, your energy for the month, as well as today's energy and the current power. One little thing I like to point out to our customers when I'm showing them this is that current power is after it's been inverted. So that means it's actually your AC power, not the DC power. So you may have a 5.5 kilowatt system, as my dad does, but you probably won't ever see 5.5 kilowatts right here as your immediate power. 4.85 would be probably the peak that he'd see in the most optimal conditions. When we talk to people about solar, we talk to you guys about kilowatt hours rather than kilowatts. I mean, we do talk about the system size being in kilowatts, but the kilowatt hours is really what we focus on, monthly production, because that's what your utility company bills you guys with. So, this is a month view right here. Obviously, you can see through here that there's a few different options. You can do day, and get a really detailed analysis. It looks like there was some shading through the middle of the day. I think I saw a storm kind of coming through. And then you can look at week production. So you can see days where the clouds are coming by, nice smooth power here. And, a day where we had some real cloud cover. Sorry, let me scroll down a little bit there. And you got some big spikes in the power. So this is, the monitoring portal, so to speak. The other cool feature is going to be your layout. And the layout, if you don't see that icon, you may have to ask for it. but this actually shows you your panels for each day or whatever time frame you want to look at. So this is the way the panels are laid out on my father's house. And I can look at like monthly totals. He does have some shading on some of these panels in the back, so you can kind of see that they don't produce, you know, all of the power that these ones at the front of the house do, but they're still viable. And you know, we like to talk to you guys about that in those situations when we're first meeting with you. A cool feature that I've recently was clued into is this weekly playback, where you can actually see the power throughout the whole week and kind of play it back, and it will do this cool demonstration where you kind of see the power generating throughout the day and how much, you know, each panel is producing during that time. Pretty cool feature. Just some fun stuff to play around with and really, you know, be confident that your panels are working as they should. You know, as we discussed with you guys, we do keep an eye on this. I know sometimes customers might find a issue and they call us. We probably knew about it, but we do prioritize issues and, you know, take care of more pressing ones more faster. So if someone had a whole system have an issue, we'd be there before we were there to deal with one panel out of, you know, a 40 or 50 panel system. So just to clarify that with everybody. That's you know, the two big features here. If you have the consumption monitoring, you'll see this kind of split into two boxes at the top, and it will show you how much you're consuming, so you can kind of see your production versus consumption throughout the month. It is a more recent feature that SolarEdge has started to do. So you know, if you're installed more recently, you might find that. Someone asked to blank out my dad's address. Yeah, I talked to him about this. He was okay with it. And it's kind of hard to blank it out on that portal. I did think about that. I appreciate your concerns, guys. So I'm gonna real quick hop back over to my presentation that I had going. And I'm gonna share a video with you guys that our marketing director, Amy Olson, has created for us. And it's going to walk you through using our Advocator app, or we call it the Wells Solar Portal a lot, and where you can log your monitoring in through that application. So you've already registered online with SolarEdge and you've got your username and password. Your username should be your email. So if you are wondering what that is, that's what it should be. And so now that you've got that login, it's really easy to actually use it through our application that we have. So I am going to start this video.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Amy Olson. can see how much each.
Sorry guys, it looks like some people were messaging me that we lost sound, so I think I figured out what the issue is. I guess we will restart this video. Give me just a second. We're relatively new to these webinars here at Wells Solar, so bear with us. Can everyone hear me? I'll give us another try here.
Via the Wells Solar app. So you'll go to the Advocator app and log into your Advocator account. Up in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see the 3 lines, which is the menu. And then down here, you're going to see monitoring. It's the 3rd one up from the bottom. And that links you directly to SolarEdge. Sometimes it will ask for you to enter your account information. And other times it will just, once you've logged in once, it will take you directly to your SolarEdge monitoring. So you're going to see a lot like the desktop app. It has a review of your production throughout each day, every month. It also, you can switch to a daily view, which because it's in the morning, it hasn't actually reported the energy production. Reports every 4 hours. So you can see your weekly view and how you're producing energy. You can scroll back and forth with your finger and see, obviously this is during the day, during the peaks, and these are the nights, which are the valleys. You can look at a monthly view. Then you can look at a yearly view, and it gives like a summary of each month, which is really helpful in understanding the production throughout the year. There's a little summary up here at the top of what you're producing today, this month, and for the lifetime of your system. You can also, through this second icon over, see the layout of your SolarEdge system. And this is a particularly interesting feature with microinverters because you can see how much each panel is producing, which is kind of interesting. And you can, again, switch to a daily, weekly, and monthly view of this. It would also identify any issues with a particular panel or a shading issue that you may or may not have within your system. So this is just the basic run through of the SolarEdge monitoring in the Advocator app. And once again, in your Advocator app, there's also so many other valuable tools here. You can send our team a message and a chat through this chat feature if you ever have a question. You can share anything you want about referrals or your system via Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, email, and text message. You can also write a review. You can look at the process of your referrals and what's in your Advocator wallet. And you can also add referrals here. So if you have a new referral that you're going to submit, you can add it via this app. I hope that this answers any questions. Please feel free to reach out to our team at any point in time with any further questions, and have a great day.
Well, thank you, Amy, for creating that video for us. I do want to, make sure everyone knows about the Wells Solar app, which is called the Advocator app in the App Store. Some of y'all may have joined us last week, or I guess it was actually 2 weeks ago, where we covered how to use that. And you may have noticed a trend of emails coming your way. So we are trying to do some webinars and help our customers out and make sure people really know, how to use all the cool features that we've added to these systems. I mean, solar's a cool product, and there's some really cool features on there. The Advocator app, does require that you download it. It's actually called the Advocator App right here, like I've got in the title, in the App Store and the Google Play Store. And you use the company code of 4925. We're going to send out a nice little PDF of how to download that, as well as some video instructions that we shared 2 weeks ago. This does allow full access to your SolarEdge monitoring application on your phone. I think a lot of people like to use it on their phone versus, a computer. I know that's kind of the way things are going these days. You do get project updates if you're in the process of install right now. Now we would have to make sure you had a registered account and were properly updated in our portal, but it will give you, stage updates. That's a relatively new feature. So, and we're also adding features all the time to this. Advocator app, or Get the Referral as we like to call it, can be really handy, and it can really provide you guys with a lot of features. And, as I said there, the name there, it does actually allow you to put in referrals. We do typically pay $500 per referral for a customer that's moving forward. Some of y'all very well may be referrals of your friends. Due to recent global events, we're trying to help everybody out, and we are actually paying $1,500 per referral right now. So if you enter someone into the app, and we will take care of booking it and everything, and if they move forward with solar, once it's installed, we will send you $1,500. That's a pretty nice amount of money. 4 or 5 of those, and you're talking some serious dough. And so we're trying to help out our existing customers. We also have some promotions that we've been doing every month for our new customers. So there's good reasons for you to refer people now. I know it's the term everyone keeps using is unprecedented, right? I just like to say it's a little bit weird, right? We don't really know what's going on right now, and we want to make sure that everyone's helped out, and power bills aren't going away, and it's a good time to move forward with solar. The incentives are all still available, and they are expiring soon, and so we don't want people to be waiting if they know that everything's going to be okay for them. So everybody wins with the referral program. You guys get $1,500, and the customers that are moving forward right now are eligible for different monthly promotions. So we've done a few different things throughout the last couple of months, but there's good reason for them too, right? One thing I do want to mention now that I got a bunch of you guys on here is that we are a certified Tesla Powerwall installer. I mentioned earlier that I was unable to get up to the office, but I've got a little webinar area where I've got a Tesla Powerwall, but I was really pressed for time today, so I stayed home, and I'm running this webinar from my living room. But we do install Tesla Powerwalls, and they provide backup power during power outages. I know we've had some pretty serious storms through Texas the last couple days. I had a customer call me today, someone installed back in the beginning of 2017, saying, the system's been great, but I've been out of power for a little while now, and I want to do some batteries. So we get that sort of questions. Also, Texas is a lucky place. We don't have any time of use charges, but there's plenty of data out there saying that could be coming. In other states they charge more for certain times of the day. Well, Powerwalls kind of let you avoid that by charging the Powerwall during the low cost times, and then using that power later. Now I want to be clear, that is not something that we can do in Texas just yet, but it does provide backup power, so you can reach out to us if that's something that you have interest in. Questions? I don't want to necessarily open up the chat, but we can, the unmute you guys, but you can type in questions into that chat box, and I'll try to answer them. I've already messaged a few of y'all while I was letting it go without audio there, we do have customer service at Wells Solar. We ask that you guys going to start with an email if you have limited access to your SolarEdge, because we do have about 50 participants right now. I think if everyone were to call at the same time, we may have a little issue. Is there a way to share my solar production achievements on social media? That is an awesome question, and I'm not sure on the answer there, to be honest with you. Amy, let's see if you're still on here. Do you know the answer to that? I know that we can share our Advocator app and referrals through the app onto social media, but I'm not sure on the SolarEdge here. Let me, yeah, you can always take a screenshot. That's a great point. Paul, for those of y'all that don't know how to do that, you could always Google how to take a screenshot. Use the snipping tool for Windows and Command Shift 4 for a Macintosh. There you go. Amy said the same thing. John asks, I have trouble understanding Austin Energy and the credit earned. Is this something that you can help with? I'd like to, you know, the way Austin Energy does it is they give you a credit for everything generated of 9.7 cents for every kilowatt hour that you generate. And then the billing is a little bit different. So you may say like a negative number on your bill. That's your solar production versus your usage will be up on top of that. And oh, some other people asked, is there a number to call for the Tesla backup feature? Yeah, I guess I didn't make that very clear here on this bullet point, but yeah, the 833 TX Wells, that's to schedule a consultation, especially if you're interested in the Tesla Powerwall. Let's see here. Some people are asking me about the link and said their salesperson might have sent it to you. I do want, if you have a specific problem with your project, like, you know, if you don't have access or something like that, please email customer service at Wells Solar. I did warn them ahead of time that that you will be probably be a few people reaching out to them. Is the login for the Advocator app the same as the SolarEdge app, or create a new account? If you don't already have an account, you will need to create a new account inside the Advocator app. When you create that, it will prompt you to select your sales rep, and the sales rep, it may or may not be with the company anymore, depending on how long ago it was. If you can't find them in that list, or you don't remember, you can select if no sales reps, click here, and then a lot of times we're able to kind of identify who that was if you can't remember. Let's see here. I would like to add more of an assistance on how to read my meters. Which one should I be excited at getting more numbers added? Jason, if you can email us at customer service, I think we'll be able to help you. And I'm pretty sure Eric was your salesperson, and I think I know that he's been trying to help you with some of this. So I'm going to reach out to him as well and try to make sure he's been able to help you. And then I've got a few questions about, you know, a panel being down. Will it send you an alert? It can send an alert after a while. It does send us an alert after a while as well. I see them coming into my phone. Is what we get is we get kind of flags on systems on our end so that we can, you know, see which ones are having an issue, and then we'll take a look at it and, you know, kind of prioritize it. And that's where you've got the Wells Solar phone number that Amy's sharing in the chat. That's 833-899-3557. I do request that if you have some issue regarding the monitoring, like right now, and you want to ask someone, email customer service to begin, because we are kind of expecting a decent amount of people asking questions. Is there a number to call? Let's see here. If you are damaged by hail, that is typically a insurance claim. I'd be very surprised if you were experiencing hail damage, though, that's a very rare situation with solar. I know we had some hail recently in the area, but those panels are very sturdy. A lot of times roofs will have damage and the panels will be fine. And Sylvia is asking about the Powerwall. Sorry, guys. The address is wellssolar.com, customer service at wellssolar.com. You may have to drag the box full of all the participants. Let me see here. If you have questions specifically about it, please reach out to us. I'm sure we could go all day on the questions. There's some stuff about the National Weather Service warranties in there, or warnings. That is Tesla's feature, not ours. So I'll have to take a look into that. The Powerwall is a relatively new product, and even I am learning a lot about it. I think we got a few questions about the Powerwall recently, and I was a little bit embarrassed, honestly. I didn't know the answer, so I have some learning to do myself. And we'll probably do another. I'm guessing that my next webinar will be about the Powerwall, so hopefully we can share some information with you guys there during that one. I know a lot of people have interest in that. It's a really cool product, and that's coming from someone who, when they started, wasn't always super positive about batteries. I do think that the technology is there now and they're really cool. And I've seen some really awesome stuff from some of our customers. We got an email the other day saying that the power had gone out twice and they never even noticed. That's awesome. I love hearing that sort of stuff. That makes me super excited. And this is a new product and we're kind of on the cutting edge when it comes to batteries, and I'm happy to see people are moving forward with that. It seems like something that a lot of people have been asking for, and now we're really starting to see that happen. So I am going to end this webinar now. If you have some questions, please start with an email to customerservice@wellssolar.com. Let me type that out one more time in the chat box. That's a good place to start. Our phone number is 833-TX-WELLS. Wells TX also works in case you get that mixed up. You'll get a hold of us. But I appreciate everyone for joining me today. I do enjoy what I do, and I'm glad that you guys were all able to make it. If you do have some sort of concern, I think we'll be able to make sure that you're satisfied. And so please just reach out to us. That's what we're here. That's what we've promised to you guys. And that's the promise we want to live up to, that we're going to take care of you and make sure that your system's functioning as it should. So thank you guys and have a wonderful day.